Welcome back, students. In my last video we studied about transfer of heat. Now we'll study about the various ways, the different modes of transfer of heat, how heat gets transferred. So let us check how many types of mode, what are the mode of transfer of heat. There are three modes of transfer of heat. They are conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction takes place in solids, convection in liquid or gases, and radiation doesn't need any medium. So these are the mode of transfer of heat which depends upon the different kind of medium. Conduction takes place in solid only. Now, what is conduction? It is the process of transfer of heat from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature without any actual movement of molecules. We already discussed that conduction takes place in solids, and in solids the heat gets transferred from one part to another part of the same object, or from one object to another object without any actual movement of the molecules. We all know that solid is the molecules, the molecular arrangement of solid is that it is tightly packed. The molecules of solids are tightly packed. There is no intermolecular space found in solid. All the molecules are tightly packed. Clear? So because it is tightly packed, so molecules will not able to move from its position. It will stuck with its position only. Clear? Right? So in solids, mode of transfer of heat takes place through conduction only, and there is not any movement of molecules takes place. The molecules, now let us discuss how heat is getting transferred. If there is not any movement of molecules, then how it is possible, how heat gets transferred from one part to another part. Let us take an example. The example here is, we have a burning candle is there and a spoon. Suppose we have hold the spoon from this end, and this part of the spoon is over the flame. So what will happen? Do we will feel heat quickly? No. It will take time, heat, to reach from this end to this end. Now how it takes place, how heat gets transferred from this part to this part. What happens actually, the molecules which are tightly packed in solids, after getting heat, after acquiring heat, vibrates only on its position. The molecules vibrates on its position, and the first molecule or the molecules which are found on this part of the spoon vibrates, and after that molecule transfer heat to the adjacent molecule. Due to the vibration, the adjacent molecule will acquire heat, and that molecule will also vibrate, and in that way all the molecules will vibrate one after another, and finally heat gets transferred from the this end to this end of the spoon. So how does it takes place? By vibration of molecules only. The molecules will not move from its position. Let us take an example, like in some kind of game there is Chinese whisper. If you have heard about that game, in that game what happens, the players, the first player used to tell some statement to like next boy or girl, and then next boy or girl just repeat that statement, and at the end to the last boy or girl that statement, finally that boy listen that statement. So do the student is moving from there, from its position? No. The student only tells the statement, he repeats the statement, and no one is moving from its position. The student is stuck with its position only. He is like telling the statement only, not moving from its position. So just like that, in case of solid, the molecules do not move. It only vibrates on its position. It only just stuck with the position and vibrates only after acquiring heat. So this is the way how transfer of heat takes place in solid, that is conduction. So conduction is a mode of transfer of heat which takes place in solids only. Now there are some conditions which are required for conduction. Those conditions are temperature difference. Always we know already that when heat transfer of heat takes place only when there is temperature difference between two objects, right? Okay, so first condition is temperature difference should be there between two objects or between two ends of the same object. Now another one is the objects should be in direct contact. In case of conduction, the objects should be in direct contact with each other. If there are two objects, then that two objects should be in direct contact with each other, then only conduction will take place. Now let us discuss about conductors and insulators. Conductors, good conductors and bad conductors of heat. Solids are good conductor. We discussed that conduction is a process of heat transfer which takes place in solid only. So obviously the examples for conduction is solid, but there are some solid which are good conductor of heat, while some solid which are not good conductors of heat. So different kind of metals are good conductors of heat. All the metals are good conductor of heat, while non-metals are not as good as metals. So those are bad conductors of heat, not a good conductor of heat. Metals like copper, iron, aluminium, silver, gold, all these are good conductors of heat. All these can conduct heat and electricity. And non-metals like wool, cotton and different kind of fibers and something like ice, air, all these are bad conductor of heat. We'll discuss about good conductor and bad conductor in detail in my next video. Just have a look on screen.